everyone. Hello, my dear BS and English students. Today we will have the continuation of our discussion. Last meeting, we finished with the morphological analysis as well as the word formation techniques in morphology. Today, we will be having another topic in linguistics, and this focuses on semantics. We will have two topics. The first one is the semantic roles in componential analysis, and then the semantic relationships will be discussed as well. So I had prepared two videos together with the discussion, the examples, as well as the sample exercises or questions on how we would analyze semantic roles as well as semantic relationships. So if you are ready, let's begin. Let's first define what semantics is. Of course, I told you last time, class, ito ay yung pagbibigay ng kahulugan, pag-aaral kung paano natin mabibigyan ng kahulugan yung mga salita na ating ginagamit whenever we communicate. So, it is not just we know the words, we know the language, but we must also understand that the meaning of words would differ or vary depending on the context. And understanding the meaning that we communicate is under semantics. So it is a branch of linguistics concerned with the meaning. What are the meanings of different words? So later, I will be showing you different words and how they are connected to one another. How are those meanings constructed and how do they change? These are kinds of questions that us linguists must need to answer. Okay, so I have here a set of questions. Do you think these questions or statements are correct? Okay, the first one is, my brother is a spinster. The camel swallowed the chocolate and then ate it. The platypus remained alive for an hour after the hunter killed it. Socrates arrived tomorrow. So if you would analyze the content of the sentence, sa tingin ninyo, I have there the word, they are grammatically correct, but semantically, the meaning is different. If you would just analyze or have your comprehension with this sentences, we could say that these are not semantically correct if we will be looking on the meaning. But if we would look on the grammar, we could say that it follows the basic sentence patterns, right? Tama po ba? So, kung grammar ang ating titingnan, walang mali dito sa mga sumusunod na pangungusap. Pero kung titingnan natin ang kahulugan, are the following sentences meaningful? That's the question first. And let us correct the following sentences. Of course, instead of saying that the brother is a spinster, the right word is, my brother is a bachelor. Another, the camel sniffed the chocolate and then ate it. Number 3, or the third sentence, the platypus remained alive for an hour after the hunter shot it. And last, Socrates arrived yesterday. So if you would just find the correct words, semantically, the sentence would be acceptable. So yan po yung kahalagahan why we need to study semantics. Para maintindihan natin na ang meaning pala ay nababago depende kung paano ito ginamit sa pangungusap. So it is not necessarily na tama ang grammar ay tama na ang pangungusap. It should be logically arranged as well, or the thought must really state what we really meant. So meron tayo dito pagbuo ng mga kahulugan kasi last meeting meron tayong morphological analysis. Paano ba natin nabubuo ang mga salita? Remember that? Okay. So ngayon naman, paano natin nabubuo ang mga kahulugan ng salita or mga salita na ating ginagamit whenever we communicate? Example, language structure is okay, not enough. We need to learn about the meaning. So, hindi lang daw pala dapat alam mo kung paano mo sunod-sunurin kasi papasok tayo sa syntax. Syntax po ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga salita or ng mga words sa bawat pangungusap or statement. So there, we need to learn about the meaning as well. The hamburger ate the boy. So the sentence is syntactically correct or grammatically correct, but semantically incorrect. Why? Is it possible that the hamburger is the one who ate the boy? So you know that the boy is the one capable of eating. Therefore, the boy ate the hamburger. So yun na po yung sinasabi natin. Tama yung grammar pero mali yung kahulugan. And the other way around, hindi necessarily na tama yung grammar ay yung sentence ay acceptable. So you must remember that, class. And sa tulong ng semantics, mas maiintindihan pa po natin. So we have here the following semantic features. Analyze the following sentence and see the logic of the meaning. Yun yung sinasabi natin na logic. The hamburger ate the boy. So the first one, the positive is the animate, and the negative animate, positive human, and negative human. So ano pong ibig sabihin nito? As far as I remember, the symbol positive states that the quality is possessed by the one being talked about. When you say negative, the quality is not possessed by the one being talked about. So, for example, here, the blank ate all the food. The blank is reading the newspaper. So, therefore, N plus animate, N plus human. Tingnan natin dito kung paano natin siya mapupuno. Mag-isip tayo kung ang noun natin dapat ay animate, kung ang noun natin ay dapat human. So, who is capable of reading? Of course, human. And who is capable of eating aside from human? Mag-iisip tayo ng animate subject for this. Papasok tayo sa Componential Analysis. It is a method typical of structural semantics which analyzes the component's word's meaning. So dito po, class, when you say componential analysis, the component ng bawat salita sa ating statement ay ating hihimay-himayin. When we say component, every part of it. So structural semantics pa rin po siya. May example tayo dito, the one that I'm talking about earlier. Man equals positive male. Of course, man is a male, correct? Man is mature. Tama ba? So, correct. Positive. Because it is possessing the quality. Pag sinabi natin positive, possessing the quality. Another naman, woman, alam natin na ang woman ay hindi male. That's why negative siya. Hindi siya nakakapossess ng quality. And mature, tama. Woman is already mature. Pero ito namang sunod, boy. You know that a boy is younger than a man. Therefore, tama. Male siya. Positive male, negative mature. Kasi hindi siya mature. That's why negative. The value of negative means you do not possess the character or characteristics. So ito naman, girl. Girl is not a male, correct? So, negative male. Hindi rin siya mature kasi younger siya. Therefore, negative mature. So, example pa natin, paano kung child? Child equals, it could be, hindi natin sure kung ang child ba ay lalaki or babae. So, ano symbol? Positive or negative male. So, we're not sure. Then, mature, we do not know. Of course, we know pala. Pero hindi, alam natin na ang child ay hindi mature kasi nga, younger siya. Therefore, negative mature. So, dito, sa paraan na ito, nagawa natin yung componential analysis kasi hinimay-himay natin yung characteristic. Ito ba ay possessing such character or not possessing? So, ito po yung ating definition. In other words, the word girl can have three basic factors or semantic properties. So, ano po yung nabanggit natin? Yes, a girl is a human, a girl is young, and a girl is female. So, yun po yung componential or basic factors niya or properties. Then another, to summarize, one word can have basic underlying meanings that are well established depending on the cultural context. So it is crucial to understand these underlying meanings in order to fully understand any language and culture. So para mas maintindihan natin ang bawat salita sa bawat statement, of course, we need to do componential analysis. So tandaan nyo na lang, kapag positive, ibig sabihin possessing the characteristic. Kapag negative, not possessing the characteristic. So if we are not sure, we can write positive slash negative. Okay, so take note of that. So that's in a general form. And also, pwede tayong gumawa ng table katulad nito. Animate, animate, positive animate, negative animate, positive human, negative human, positive adult, negative adult, positive female, and negative female. So, paano po ito? Ang example natin dito ay salitang boy, girl, man, and woman. So, human po ba ang boy? Of course. Human din ang girl, human din ang man, as well as woman. Therefore, positive ang nilagay natin. Ang boy ba ay adult? Hindi. Therefore, negative tayo. Ang girl ay hindi rin adult. Ang man ay positive kasi adult ang man as well as woman. Ang female, ang boy, of course, boy is not a female. Negative siya. Girl is a female, positive. Man is not a female, therefore negative. And woman is a female, that's why positive. So, pwede tayong gumawa ng table para mas ma-analyze natin ang components ng bawat salita. Then, magkakaroon tayo ng semantic roles. So, ano ba yung semantic roles? So, words are not only containers of meaning but have roles. So, ibig sabihin daw po nito, ano ba yung ginaganapan ng mga salita, semantic roles that we have. So, semantic roles are also called thematic roles or case rules. So, if I'm not mistaken, you go back with a lesson, isearch nyo sa internet ang case grammar ni Fillmore's case grammar. So dito mas madidiscuss in detail ang semantic roles. But then we have studied that naman unti-unti kasi we're just having the introduction to linguistics. But if you are enrolled already in a master's or doctorate program specializing in English, mas marami pa pong semantic roles ang makikita ninyo. So may mga yung mga patient, team, so on and so forth. So, I haven't recall na rin. I have to go back with my notes dun sa Fillmore's case grammar. So, yun. I have presented that in my PhD before. I was trying to look for my PowerPoint presentation para mag-give ko sa inyo yung mga examples pa. But then, I wasn't able to see it. Siguro sa isa kong laptop. Pero for the meantime, since we are having introduction to linguistics pa lang naman, ayan muna yung mga basic natin na semantic roles. So, let's continue. Ito yung summary ko ng ating semantic roles. The arguments that a verb assigns are referred to as thematic or theta roles. So, tandaan niyo po yan, major theta roles are the following. So, semantic roles, also known as thematic or theta roles. First one, we have the agent, the entity that intentionally carries out the action of the verb, the one who carries the action. We have the experiencer, the entity that undergoes an emotion or state of being or a perception expressed by the verb, the one who undergoes the emotion. Siya yung nakakaramdam. Theme, also known as the patient, right? So, the entity that directly receives the action, tumatanggap ng kilos. And then we have instrument, the entity which the action of the verb is carried out. Siya yung nagsasabi, when you say instrument, materialis or siya yung ginamit sa pagpa-perform ng action. We have the goal, the direction towards which the action of the verb moves. It tells the direction. When you say source, direction from which the action originates, pinagmulan ng kilos. Ito namang goal, wag tayong malilito, pupuntahan ng kilos. Location, ito yung place where the action happened. So ito na nga yung mismong context ng kilos. Then we have benefactive, the entity that receives a concrete or abstract element as a result of the action of the verb. Siya yung nakinabang or sa kanya napunta yung resulta ng kilos. So those are the basic semantic roles that you will encounter in our semantic analysis. So we have, I will repeat, the first one is agent, the second one is experiencer, the third is theme, the fourth is instrument, the fifth is goal, six is source, seven location, and the eighth is benefactive. Yan, meron akong ginawang sentence. Our sentence is for us to analyze the roles performed by each word. Agents are usually the subject of a transitive or an ergative verb. Themes are mostly direct object of a transitive or distransitive verb. Goals, sources, locations, benefactives, and instruments are normally embedded in a prepositional phrase. Finally, experiencers are usually the subject of the certain verbs. So, di ba, in your structures of English, I know your professor have taught you ano ba ang transitive verb, ano ang intransitive verb, ano ang anergative verbs, so on and so forth. So, I know you are familiar with those already. Transitive verb, the one that requires an object. Intransitive verb, the one which does not require an object to complete the meaning. So, hindi sumasagot sa tanong na ano, but rather, sumasagot sa tanong na paano ito ipe-perform, di ba? So, kailangan niya ng, it answers the question when instead of what. So, yun, medyo balikan ninyo yung inyong terminologies on the different kinds of verbs. Then here, John hit Greg. May underline si John. John is the agent. Siya yung subject ng pangungusap. Greg is the theme or usually when you say theme, it's the patient. So, anong definition natin kanina? John hit whom? So, si Greg pala ang kanyang pinalo. Then, Harry brought two fish from the store. So, fishes siya supposedly kung different na uri ng isda. Isang galunggong, isang tilapia. Pero kung siya ay same kind naman, fish pa rin siya collectively. So, yun po yung difference. So, Harry brought two fish from the store. Harry is the agent, the theme is the fish, and the source, pinagmulan, store. Another? The cookies were eaten in the kitchen by the baker. The theme is the cookies and the kitchen is the location doon nangyari ang kilos. Baker is the one perform it or the action. It's the agent. Now, ito, meron kasi tayong mga confusing roles of the experience and the theme. So, may mga ilang bagay tayong lilinawin. So, let me read the following and give some examples. Confusing the roles of experience and theme. Students often confuse the roles of experiencer and theme. Ano bang pinakaiba ng dalawa? This is due to the fact that with certain verbs, it seems as though the direct object, thus the theme, is experiencing the action of the verb. So, yun naman pala. For example, the theme of the verb such as punish undergoes some type of punishment. So, di ba? The students construe this NP noun phrase as an animate object that experiences whatever the punishment may be in Greek. So, para mas malinaw, tingnan natin ang mga example. The frustrated principal punish. Sino ang pinarusahan? The rowdy seniors by making them wash all the floors. So, ano siya? This is not necessarily an incorrect assumption. However, the focus of data assignment is on the verb and its relationship to the direct object, not the experience of the direct object. So, ano dyan? Experience or sim? Experiencer ba or yung sim ang ating pinatutungkulan sa rowdy seniors? Sa number 4, it is the ball that is going or undergoing the action of the verb and thus the sim. So, anong sentence siya dito? Superman kicked the ball. Okay. In this case, the ball cannot experience anything. Tama ba? Being inanimate, kasi ang nakaka-experience lang naman ay yung may mga human qualities, yung mga tao, mga animate. So, ito namang ball ay hindi siya buhay. Thus, it is clearer to understand this. It's a theta role and it's a sim. Hindi siya experiencer. Tama ba? Kasi tandaan nyo, ang experiencer is the one who is experiencing the action of the verb from the word itself. So, paano ba? Superman kicked the ball. Siya yung hinampas. Pero hindi, siya yung hinampas or sinipa, pero not necessarily na siya ay nasaktan. Tama ba? In both cases, regardless of the semantic properties of the direct object, it is always the entity that receives or undergoes the action of the verb. So, dapat marunong din tayo na mag-analyze alin ang inanimate at animate objects or human beings. So, dito naman, experiencer yung rowdy seniors kasi sila yung naparusahan. So, naramdaman nila yung parusa. At paano sila pinarusahan? Pinaglinis sila ng floor. Dito naman, sinipa ni Superman yung bola. So, kahit sinipa yun, ang kanya naging role ay sim, hindi experiencer. Kasi hindi naman ma-experience or mararamdaman ng bola ang sakit ng pagsipa. So, sana ay malinaw ang pinagkaiba ng experiencer at ng sim. Okay, so dito naman, we are having confusion as well. At the introductory level, the sim will most likely be the direct object. So, masagot sa tanong na ano, of a transitive or the transitive verb. The experiencer will be the subject of a certain transitive verbs, intransitive verbs, and the copula. Pakibalikan ang ating terminologies on your structures of English class when you were in your hindi pa pala kayo nagsa-structures of English, I'm so sorry. On your next semester probably. Okay, so let's have the next. Lois smelled the pastries as she walked by the bakery. Number 5 is showing an intransitive verb. Smelled. Tama ba? And then Lois suffered from terrible allergies. Okay. So, intransitive. Suffered. And number 7, copula. Lois was extremely happy about her decision to run a marathon. So, copula siya. State of being. So, therefore, anong pinagkaiba? Si Lois ay experiencer. Kasi siya yung nakaramdam ng kilos. Tama ba? So, in Lois is not intentionally walking over the pastries to smell them, but as she walks by the bakery, the aroma reaches her nose. This is type of perception. She's the one perceiving the action. So, in 6 and 7, Lois is experiencing emotions caused by circumstances. So, yun po siya. And now, another confusion. Experience and benefactive. Students often confuse the roles of an experiencer and benefactive. This is an error similar to the previous one. First, it is important to note that the word benefactive can be misleading. Benefactive and benefit don't necessarily share the same meaning. The benefactive is the entity that receives something or nakinabang as a result of an action of the verb. So, nakinabang siya dahil may ginawang kilos. Ano yung nagiging result ng kilos? Sino yung nag-benefit? Yun yung benefactive. It could be, one million or a hook punch. Spider-Man delivered a powerful left hook to the Joker that sent the villain across the room. Bakit siya not a benefit in this one? Also remember that the experiencer will be the subject of a certain verb, while the benefactive most often will be found in a prepositional phrase as the indirect object of the verb. This is not the case in double object constructions, not to be discussed here. So meron pa tayong additional discussion siguro sa mga susunod natin na subjects, since this is just an introduction to linguistics pa lang naman. Second, even though the benefactive may undergo an experience as a result of the action of the verb, the focus is on the verb, not on the benefactive. So, Spider-Man delivered a powerful left hook to the Joker that sent the villain across the room. Si Spider-Man ay parang sumuntok siya. Sinuntok niya si Joker. Tapos, as a villain, si Joker ay tumilapon sa room or sa lugar kung saan sila nagbubuno. In number 8, let's go back with statement. We can be sure that the Joker experienced pain, di ba? Experiencer. But the focus is on the fact that he received the punch as the result of the action of the verb give. So, let's finalize. Ano ang Joker dito? Experiencer or benefactive? Okay, so dito, si Joker experiencer dahil siya ay nakaranas ng pain, bunga ng pagsuntok sa kanya ni Spider-Man. Even though, kasi nalilito tayo sa konsepto ng benefactive, pag benefactive, pwede rin daw makaranas or makaramdam ng, ang tawag doon? Pwede ka ring makaramdam or makaranas ng experiences, pero tingnan natin ang kahulugan. May na-receive ba siya as a result of action? Nakaranas siya ng sakit? Anong natanggap niya? So, pwedeng i-ask nyo ang sarili nyo. So, ano ang definition ng benefactive? Okay. So, Spider-Man delivered a powerful left hook. So, ang action dito ay sumuntok. So, ang nakatanggap ng suntok ay si Joker. Experiencer siya, kaya siya tumilapon kasi nasaktan siya. Nag-benefit ba si Joker? Of course not, because it is a negative feeling. So, even though meron siyang natanggap, more of an experience kasi nasaktan siya. So, yun po yung ating analysis between benefactive and experiencer. So, ano naman ang source, goal, and location? Paano natin siya maa-apply sa ating analysis? Distinguishing between the source, the goal, and the location is always a challenge. The key is generally the preposition that precedes the noun phrase. The goal is the entity towards which the action of the verb moves. Tingnan natin. Tingnan nyo yung goal. Ang ibig sabihin, goal is the entity towards which the action of the verb moves. Harriet is driving to the library this evening. So, tingnan natin yung mga prepositional phrases or prepositions na sinusundan or anong tawag doon? Preceding the NP. Pag sinabi naman natin na source, entity from which the action of the verb originates, pinagmulan. Kapag sinabing goal, patutunguhan, ang source, pinagmulan. At ang location, kinalulugaran or actual na lugar kung nasaan ang nagpe-perform ng action. So, i-analyze natin yung 9, 10, 11 na statements. Harriet is driving to the library this evening. papunta siya sa library. Therefore, goal siya. Harriet from the library at noon. So, pinagmulan ni Harriet ay sa library. Therefore, siya ay source. Harriet studies at the library all weekend. Saan napunta si Harriet? Sa library. Therefore, siya ay location. So, yun po yung mga kaibahan or distinction ng source, goal, and location. Once again, when you say goal, patutunguhan. When you say source, pupuntahan or pinagmulan. At ang location, yung kinalulugaran. So, this will take some practice. Later on, magbibigay ako ng mga exercises. If you focus on a type of verb in terms of its syntactic structure and its argument requirements, you will be well on your way to mastering the basics of the data role assignment or this semantic roles. Ayan yung ating list of examples pa. Mary saw a fly on the wall. Mary is the experiencer, fly is the theme, and on the wall is the location. She borrowed a magazine from George. She is the agent, magazine is the theme, and the source is from George. She squashed the bug with the magazine. She is the agent, the bug is the theme, with the magazine is the instrument. She handed the magazine back to George. She is the agent, magazine is the same, and George to George is the goal. An agent, okay, so ito na. G thanks said George. George is the agent. So, ayan, nakita nyo na yung pinagkakaiba-iba. And it's for you to write sentences para mas ma-analyze nyo pa yung components niya. Alin ba doon sa 8 na semantic roles ang inyong mamamaster. So ngayon, tingnan natin kung kayo ay handa na para sa exercises. Sasagutan nyo po ito using our tawag doon, YouTube chat box or message box. Pakisagutan ang mga sumusunod na tanong at ating i-practice kung kayo ay marunong na. Titingnan ko po sa messages ng ating YouTube channel or ng YouTube kung kayo ay ganun ka-active answering the exercises. Subukan po natin. So let's begin. I have 10 questions and tingnan nyo kung tama ang mga sagot ninyo sa bawat katanungan. He cut the meat with a knife. The word in italic is A, theme, B, instrument, C, source, D, none of the above. So you have 5 counts to write your answer in the chat box. Okay, let's reveal. The answer is instrument because knife is the one being used to perform the action cut. Number 2. I like tea very much. The word in italic is, we have 5 counts, A, theme, B, instrument, C, source, D, none of the above. What is your answer? Write on the chat box. Okay, the answer is theme. And number 3, my father always feels proud of me. The word in italic is A, agent, B, goal, C, experiencer, D, none of the above. So what is your answer? Write on the chat box. The answer is experiencer. Number 4, my cup of coffee was strong. The word italic is A, agent, B, experiencer, C, theme, D, none of the above. Write your answer in the chat box. Answer is same. Number 5, great people think alike. The word in italic is A, experiencer, B, agent, C, location, D, none of the above. Write your answer in the chat box. The answer is agent. Number 6, I went home early yesterday. The word in italic is A, theme, B, location, C, goal, D, none of the above. The answer is goal. Very good. Have you written the answers on the chat box? And you can double check later if your answers are all correct. Let's have number 7. We get milk from cows. The word in italic is A, source, B, theme, C, instrument, D, none of the above. Can you guess the correct one? Write on our chat box. The answer is source. Number 8. She sat on a chair and started reading. The word in italic is what's with the chair? A, theme, B, location, C, instrument, D, none of the above. The answer is right on the chat box. The answer is location. 9. Do you love me? The word in italic is it an agent, experiencer, goal, or none of the above? Write your answer in the chat box. The answer is experiencer. And last number, she always buys her clothes at expensive stores. The word in italic is, what is the word? Is it a source, the goal, location, or none of the above? Expensive stores. Answer is location. So, how many did you get? Ilan ang nakuha? Is it 10 over 10? Pakisulat din sa chat box kung ilan or pakitype kung ilan ang nakuha ninyo sa ating exercises for me to track down your performance for today's session. And also, this would be the last slide, pero I'll be back for my discussion on lexical relationships.